going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with a very interesting topic here on whether or not we should be skipping campaigns. This has really been brought to light by a content creator I'm going to reference later on, but it's created an opportunity here where should we be saving campaign energy so that way we can be anticipating future events that come up, and then that way we can actually excel and get towards those rewards, especially if you're free to play and light spender. It's a very interesting topic to cover, and I know I've gotten a few comments back, so that's what we're going to be talking about today, guys. So first and foremost, let's get right to it. Why are we even considering this? So, huge shout out here to Darkdick. He's really one of the few content creators that's brought this to light because it's a really interesting strategy and insight in terms of, especially if you're saving up this energy that we use typically each day, day in, day out, and compiling this actually for the majority of these events. And keep in mind, these events only run typically for 6 days to a week and so forth. So by compiling all this energy, it's created a strategy here where should we be sacrificing the opportunity cost of using energy every day for selectively those featured event dates, and that way you can actually have an opportunity. For his video that I reference here, he talks about how to get free diamonds on Quicksilver if you follow the strategy, and it's looking like that's going to be the case for many folks that have seen this video and actually taken an interest in that strategy. And for sure it makes sense based on the math and so forth, but we're going to be talking about why or why not to do it. So guys, again, typically events are only 6 to 7 days, right? So that means it gives us a limited span of time to actually use campaign energy. How you break the mold is saving up for this. So keep in mind, for typically these days, most folks are probably spending 200 cores per day. That amounts about 1100 campaign energy per day, for those 6 days, which means 6600 is typically what most free-to-play folks and light spenders would be using, unless they're spending money or using more power cores. However, you can break this mold by leading and stockpiling energy going into the event, so that way you're essentially not using any energy until that event goes live. And then boom, they can all be utilized during those events where it does matter, essentially sacrificing the time that you aren't using the energy into those focused 6 days and pushing you up higher into those leaderboards where you do have an opportunity for these very highly niche and obviously prioritized rewards here. It allows free-to-play folks and light spenders to compete with endgame leaderboards, which is I'm a really big fan of. I love hearing about the strategy. I actually didn't even think about it, so huge credit to Darkdick for pointing this out, but bringing this to the attention of the public and the fact that it's actually a good strategy. And as well, guys, keep in mind too, some of these limited rewards like diamond feature characters like Quicksilver, I think we just wrapped one up with Nightcrawler too. These are the opportunities only right now that we can see getting some of these rewards in the game. So it's definitely something we may want to consider. So every time there's a scenario like this in the game or an idea, I love analyzing it. I love just understanding what is going to be the sacrifice. Like, does it make sense to do this? Well, that's what we're here to talk about today as well. So first and foremost, guys, I wanted to get a sense of, what is the campaign energy value breakdown? If I were to follow this strategy, what is the opportunity cost? What are we missing out on if we are not using energy per day? So I do have this breakdown in a weekly perspective as well as a monthly perspective. So you can see here for the weekly, we'll just go top down. You're going to be earning about 2.4 million gold when you go through the hard chapters. That typically is where the highest amount of gold and trading mats are located. You're also getting about 1,512 L3 training mats, which just to bring up your characters. And on average, you're getting about 8.4 gold orb fragments and as well 4.2 training orb fragments. So that's happening on a weekly perspective, assuming you're spending 1,100 energy per day. We don't typically spend this in a month, so that's why I did want to average itself to 720 energy per day. So if you look at the monthly perspective, you're only earning about 6.4 million gold, but you are earning 4,032 L3 training mats and as well 33.6 gold orbs. And then I ruled out the training orbs because if you're averaging at 720, you likely won't have any remaining campaign energy to farm training. And in my honest opinion, from my perspective anyways, right now I'm focusing on gold over training just because I have an abundance of training mats. So it's not really my focus when I have energy in the game for those hard chapters. What does this mean now in English when we take a look at how this actually translates to the conversion to your account impact? 1546 L3 training mats is how much it takes to bring a character from level 1 to level 80. That's about 3 characters that you can get per month. Gold orbs, each 10 orbs averages about 2 million in gold based on the videos I've made and based on my average of pulling. So that's about 6 million plus in gold if you have 33.6 orbs per month. And then as well, the 4 orbs that you did get that 1 week of with the 1100, it averages about 135 the L4s, which is a higher level than the L3, but that's only typically bringing a character up to level 60. In summary, if you are following this strategy, if you are not using campaign energy, what you're missing out on here is about 12.4 million in total gold, as well as the opportunity to bring 3 characters from level 1 to level 80 with the L3 training mats per month. So that is the true cost to your guys' account. Again, I'm just providing the breakdown here for your guys' reference, because at the end of the day, each and everyone has a different account. Everyone has different levels of resources, so I can't recommend or say this is important to you because I don't know where your account currently is. But for myself personally, this is as an endgame player with many of the characters that I need brought up in the endgame raids, Crucible, Arena. This is something that I can sacrifice. 12.4 million gold and 3 characters per month is not a big deal to my account, as the majority of my characters have already been invested in. So guys, key takeaways here. Number 1, I do not recommend this strategy if you are brand new or you're in the mid game, because the absolute most important thing for those kind of players is needing gold and experience. This strategy here is exactly taking away from that. So if you are trying to get to the end game, trying to get to level 95 and beyond, this is not something that you want to be doing, because even if you get the diamond levels for those featured characters and rewards, it's not going to matter if you don't have those characters built up. So it's only going to be valuable to folks that actually have those characters already being utilized, and it's going to add ultimate value. Next up, this is actually a legitimate strategy. The cost reward is your time invested in game versus the event payout priority. As I said earlier, I can afford to miss those resources on a monthly perspective. So it's definitely a strategy I'm going to be considering for the next time there is an event for a character that I want to unlock. It's too late for me, unfortunately, with the Quicksilver, just because it's around the corner here, being data mined, but it's something I'm going to be considering for a character I really want to get access to, especially if there's diamond reward payout as part of the milestone. Opportunity and cost of resources really depend on your guys' account, so that's why I wanted to break that math down for you guys, whether you should consider the strategy or not. Everyone's going to have a different level of impact. And then lastly, guys, I think the one thing we don't talk about with this strategy is that, if you're not a fan of logging in, X number of hours to get the reward payout for energy, you're not a fan of obviously, just going in and doing your dailies. This is something that can add to that, which is the fact that you're not going to be logging in as much to claim the energy and so forth, because you're essentially just wanting your energy stockpile. So it could be good for folks that just want more of a work life, work game life balance. So that way you're just logging in once a day. But yeah, something to consider for you guys for sure. But definitely a very interesting take. I enjoyed taking a look at this and just seeing how this actually translates. But yeah, always good to know. And it's a great strategy. And again, huge shout out to Dark here. Make sure you guys check out his channel. I'll link it below if you guys want to check out his video as well. It's a good listen for sure. Thank you as always, you guys. Do let me know what you think in comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.